Good morning. Let's talk about my experience using Guanfacine, or the brand name Intuniv, for ADHD. Now bear with me because it's been about 6 months. One thing about ADHD, I've been wanting to make this video since then, and I don't know. Today I just had the inspiration to do it, probably because I'm procrastinating something else. That's the time when I get things done, is when I have something else to do, and I procrastinate that by doing the other thing. Let me know if anybody else does that, if you relate to that. But yeah. So yes, it's been a year ago in 2 days. It'll be 1 year anniversary since I was diagnosed with ADHD. Blah blah blah. I'll spare the details. I'll just get down to the Guanfacine because that's what you're here. That's what you want to know. So the psychiatrist, which is a nurse practitioner, I don't know if he actually is a psychiatrist. I don't know how that works. You know, he said that there's like a higher up psychiatrist that you go to once a year or whatever, especially if you're doing like stimulants. But with him, he said that his job is to have me try other things before I try Vyvanse or another stimulant, which I just started Vyvanse a couple weeks ago. Let me know if you want an update about that. But let's catch up. Let's talk about Guanfacine, okay? So it's a anti-anxiety medication. And again, I might be butchering some of this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He said we've got the other medications we want to try out first before we go to a stimulant. And he said this is sometimes used for ADHD. I don't know if it's as common. I don't know, but anyways, we start out on 1 milligram, right? And I did 1 milligram for a while, and if I recall, I don't think I noticed any difference. But better to be safe than sorry, right? You want to start small and go up. Especially with something like that, you want to taper up anyway. I want to say, unless it was a placebo, I feel like one day I forgot to take it, and I do have essential tremor, so I do get some kind of shakes a little bit. And I think when I forgot to take it, it did make me feel a little bit more tremory. But nothing too bad. But I think they say it could cause heart problems too or something. So I wanted to tread lightly and be careful with that. So yeah, if I recall correctly, maybe I felt a little bit more tired, more sleepier with Guanfacine. Now, granted, I don't think I have anxiety. Maybe I do a little bit, but not enough for anybody to talk to me about it or prescribe anything. This is an anti-anxiety medication. Trying to think of the other side effects of it. I think they say I don't know. I don't want to butcher it. I wonder if it can make you depressed. Is that part of it or whatever? I don't think I felt anything like that. Maybe a little bit more down. But regardless, I had my check-in, and we were like, okay, we want to try upping the dosage. So we went to 2 milligram. We doubled the dosage. And when we doubled the dosage, that's when I noticed a difference. I don't think I noticed a difference for the better, though. So here's what I noticed. And if you have an experience with Guanfacine, let me know in the comments below. Or if it was a bad experience, or if it was for anxiety, if it was for ADHD. I'm really curious. I want to know what that experience is like for you, because for me, I was just unmotivated. So I would be at work and I just didn't care. I wasn't as conversational with people because I wasn't interested in talking. If I did talk to somebody, I just didn't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you did, you shouldn't care what I'm thinking. I don't care what you're thinking. I just didn't want to connect with people, I guess. And I was also more sleepy. I guess I was like just kind of sleepy, just drowsy. Yeah, I was drinking a lot of coffee at the time, and even that wouldn't do anything. But I do think it maybe lowered some anxiety. And again, that could be just me placebo or making things up. But like, you know, I don't like spiders. A lot of people don't like spiders. But remember there was one time where I thought I saw a spider in the corner of my eye, and I was just like, I'll deal with it later. And I just kept walking by like a lot of people do, instead of like actually feeling weird about it, like I'm under attack or some kind of like anxious thing internally, you know? So I do think it kind of can help with that. But anyways, I let him know about that, and he said, okay, let's wean you off. I thought he was going to say, okay, give it some more time, because a lot of times the doctors, you know, I don't know, I feel like they're like, you gotta give it 2 more weeks to let it sink in or whatever. No, he was like, okay, we're gonna take you off of that. But we didn't just stop. We tapered to 1 milligram for a couple weeks. Then I stopped. And I wonder if I even tapered to half. If I chopped. No. He got me a prescription for 1 milligram, but I just took the 2 milligram and just chopped it in half. I don't know. I just didn't want to be wasteful. Whatever. To me, it's the same thing. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. So, yeah. And that was 1 in the morning is what I did with those. I'm pretty sure that was a 1. No. That was once before bed. And I think it maybe did help me fall asleep at night. He said that when you take it, it can make you sleepy and then wear off. So he said take it at night. So I did that before bed. I think it did help me maybe sleep. That may have been whenever I felt like I was sleepy but not really knocking out. So maybe it did make me kind of a sleepy mood, but not necessarily just knock me out. Either way, sleep wasn't interrupted too bad for me to really say that it was awful for that. One thing I did notice, though, and I've never had a problem with this in my life, is constipation. And I don't even know if that's the phrase for it or if that's how it works. Like, it was never a big issue. I would just notice, instead of going number 2 every day, it would be every 2 days, 3 days, like around there. And yeah, it was kind of harder to go sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. But what I did is I started taking fiber. So there are these little fiber tablets. The brand was Benefiber, really great. Or actually, you can just, I still take it. You just take this little powder, just, put in some water, shake it up, and just drink it. It's pretty flavorless. I just drank it with my vitamins before bed. And I think that helped a lot with digestion. And and I'm glad there was a solution to that. It was great. Now, if you already have those kind of problems, that might put you into a bad spot. I don't know. For me, it was definitely doable. But yeah, we got off the Guanfacine and I started the next thing, which was Wellbutrin, which is an antidepressant, but not anti-anxiety. So they say on Wellbutrin you can get anxiety. When I first started that, I did start feeling very jittery, which wore off. Let me know if you want a video about the Wellbutrin. I'll let you know, because also apparently Wellbutrin can be used to treat ADHD. So that was the next thing that we tried before eventually going to a stimulant. But yeah, anyway, that's my experience. I just wanted people to know, in case you were prescribed that thing, that situation as well. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say it could have mildly helped ADHD, because it did make me, I didn't like overanalyze things too much, because that anxiety was kind of gone. So a little bit more chillaxed, more to get back into the zone and stuff. But it was really just more of a sleep-deprived kind of feeling of sleep, of sleeplessness, of tiredness, exhaustion. So it really wasn't worth it. I mean, in fact, I even had I was supposed to go hang out with somebody, and I even had to cancel it, because I was like, look, I'm going to stop taking this in a week or 2. Let's get together then, because I am not going to be fun. I'm going to be whiny. I'm going to be exhausted. I won't be fun to be around. So yeah, I guess you can kind of relate to that, because when you're super exhausted, you won't be sociable, because you're just like, yeah, I don't care what you say, I want to go to bed. That's where I was. And I did a lot better at work when I got off the Guanfacine. So for me, that was a no-no. If you've taken it for ADHD and you had a success, let me know. Or if you take it for something else, maybe it's good for other things. But that's my experience with Guanfacine with ADHD. Thank you.